back to Sagas of Sundry, Goblin Mode. I am your Dungeon Master, Amy Vorpal, and with me, as always, are your Minions of Mayhem, your favorite terror squad.
Hi, I'm Dan Casey, and I play Fibs, a skeleton wizard who's a big old fan of Unzug.
I'm Danielle Radford. I play Busy, a skeleton bard / rogue, multi-class for the win, who is the biggest fan of Unzug. Like, maybe too big.
That's fair. That's fair.
Way too big.
Hey, I'm Jason Wynn. I play Tippy, a goblin artificer, who is now the Goblin Games champion. So, you know, that's what's up.
Let's go.
Ooh, okay, some big superlatives in those intros. So, with all of that said, it is now time to part the veil of reality. And we are no longer in a place that looks way bigger on camera than it is in real life. We are actually in Meyerfen at the culmination of the Goblin Hero Challenge with the winner in hand. And this is a dirty, swampy, muddy, joyous, and safe goblin swamp for all goblin kind. It has just ended, this Goblin Hero Challenge, and there are some goblins who are left behind who definitely need some attendance, who definitely need some help and maybe some resurrection, and maybe all that's left of them is their nose.
They're all okay, right?
They're all okay.
Yeah.
They're all okay. We have nothing to worry about for Mudja Bumfra. Nothing.
Okay, perfect.
She says that, but he's very
We
dead.
did bad things to Mudja.
Yeah, super vaporized.
I'm glad we remember that. Okay, but where we stand now is Tippy. You are on the muddy floor of the arena, standing in front of the stands, and you're with Pakara, arguable love interest, as well as Yonk Jagger
Oh no.
and Nurg Herfladerg.
I like him.
Okay, 4 goblins stand in the middle of this arena facing up where Unzug has just appeared and read off Tippy Terror Squad's name as the winner of the Goblin Games. Off to the side, near Tippy for sure, in the crowd and witnessing your friend's revelatory moment, are our 2 skeletons, Busy and Fibs, and you also very clearly can see Unzug standing next to Glomgan
Mosspronk? Judge Glomgan Mosspronk? The elder judge?
Yes.
The honorable?
The honorable
The
judge.
Honorable Judge Glomgan Mosspronk, standing next to Unzug, who is also sandwiched by Crandall P. Greckleworth.
Damn it, Crandall.
As he appears and reads off Tippy's name as the winner, describe your feelings. I just want to know where you're at.
Well, Tippy can't believe it. You know, he was so focused on just making sure Pakara was safe and also literally just maybe just having a little bit of fun and getting lost, making a dungeon with his 2 best friends, that he forgot there was a challenge to be had. So he's like, what? He's like asking people around, like, wait, did they say my name? Or was that like the reject list?
Tippy, you won. You won, it's you.
What?
You're
Are you
the
sure
guy.
you didn't win because you were kicking ass up
Tippy,
there?
you won. And she takes you in an embrace and kisses your cheek and is just like, Tippy, I'm so proud of you. And, you know, we were a great team out there.
The hardest a goblin could ever blush is happening right now.
Oh,
I'm blushing.
Does he need to make a wisdom saving
Yes, he
throw?
does. He does need to make a wisdom saving
Is he
throw.
still a werebird, though? Because he birded out during
I'm
the
still
dance.
birded out, right? Or did
I
that
will
go
say,
away? Did it wear off?
It would have been up to you. We were so into the dungeon. I don't know, were you a
I think
wereswallow?
in the elation of me blasting, I may have
Wereswallow.
resumed my goblin form.
Resume the goblin.
But so I will roll a wisdom.
That
save.
usually happens during the elation of blasting.
Getting a kiss from my biggest crush of all time. I'm gonna roll a wisdom, and that's a 3. That's a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so you and you turn into your wereswallow with the wings coming out of your head.
No!
She still got her goblin lips on your cheek, and she goes, "Oh, sure don't mind. And she turns right into a were-marmot herself on purpose. And you look like a couple of freaks out there.
Can you describe what she looks like? Because I know what I look like.
Yes, a were-marmot. So if you remember, a marmot is basically like a weird rodent that looks like a chubby squirrel. And she just grows a little snout, some buck teeth, 2 of them at the front, big glassy eyes, extremely rodent-like, and just furry cheeks. Everything begins to be covered in floofy fur. Really, really adorable, actually.
So Tippy was covering his eyes with his own ear wings, and so he kind of unfurls them and he goes, "You don't care that I look like this?"
You have to understand, I've been around these lycanthropes for 3 years now, and I'm one of you too, so no. All things equal, I don't care.
'Cause I don't mind how you look. I kind of like it. And apparently this changes my voice.
I don't know where you learned how to talk to women, but you know how to do it better in this form than you do in a goblin form.
Wow, thanks. I'm a werebird goblin champion.
Okay, so he's just having his moment. Actually, as far as Unzug appearing, you're just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
You're more concerned with like this thing that's way more personal to you.
And Unzug's far. Is he far off? Like, how far is he? Can we see him, or is it like
you absolutely.
he's in the nose?
No, there's no nosebleeds. It's really goblin-built stadium seating. So I would say, think of a 5-year-old soccer tournament stands.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
Like he's pretty much right there. He's within reach.
I think Tippy is so just enamored by Pakara and that he's won. He can't believe it. I don't think he's noticing too much.
I don't think so either. Yeah, he got a
who's
smooch.
up there. Yeah.
And he's a werebird. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Tippy. But as far as our skeletons, you've met your maker, or you at least can finally see your maker.
Busy starts looking for her blanket. Like immediately, she's looking for her sheet.
The bed sheet.
Busy's like grabbing her bed sheet, and she like looks at it, looks up at Unzug, looks at it, looks up at Unzug. Fibs, buddy, pal, do you?
That's him.
That's him.
He's here. No way.
Do you think he wants us back?
I guess. Why else would he be here?
Right. He came for us and then also to get his sheet
Yes.
back. There's no other reason for him to be here, right? In this moment, we could probably just go up to him and say, I bet he'd be so excited to see us.
More excited to see us than Crandall.
More excited. No one's excited to see Crandall.
And you actually see that Crandall has pulled him close and is whispering in his ear and actually pointing at Tippy and pointing actually at you. And
Oh my God.
And Unzug like looks over and if you're looking at him, yeah, he makes eye contact. And he gives you a wink and like goes back to whispering to Crandall.
Phibbs's jawbone falls off.
Busy is pile of bones. just a second.
Pile of bones, amazing. Okay, you turn into a pile of bones, and that's just as well because there's been this silence, this gasp of recognition and revelation, and all of a sudden, it breaks, and the entire goblin community just floods the arena, and people are lifting you up into the air. Goblins,
Watch the wings!
Yeah, are lifting you up. Someone has also lifted Pakara up, and Yonk, and who's the other one? Nurg. How could we forget? Nurg Hurfledurg. All of these goblins being lifted up into the air, and it is a huge moment of victory. Tippy, you see your adoptive brother and sister off to the side, Juck and Tog. You actually see Lump, your father, full of piercings and tattoos and drool and spit and sharp teeth, and he starts whomping on them. But you're torn away as you're just like trounced and carried through the crowd. Before you go, Lump has an eye out on you. Unzug clocks you too. If you're looking up at him, he sees you. He's making out the skeletons in the crowd. He actually has an enormous smile on his face. He looks genuinely happy. And yeah, you're carried around for a little while.
In this mania of being lifted up, I look around for my trusty bannerman and yeller holler. I go, guys, Busy, Phibbs, they're going crazy over here. Where are you guys?
Phibbs picks his jawbone up off the ground and snaps it back into place. Hey, he's over. We should go after him. We should go after Tippy.
Yeah, Busy puts herself together, head rolls up, snaps into place. Yeah, let's go. And starts walking over to where Tippy is. See, we told y'all. Who told y'all? We told y'all. Some of y'all are looking a little funny right now. Some of y'all said our boy couldn't do it. Haters to the left.
Fibs moves to the right.
Perfect. Okay, it's a grand celebration, and soon enough you hear a war horn being blown as Glomgen Mossbronx says, "Well, everyone, calm down. We do have to give the reward." And everyone calms down, and you're set back down, and the stadium parts ways so you can climb up to Glomgen and Unzug and Crandall.
I walk back over to Fibs and Busy. I'm like, guys, I couldn't have done this without you. Will you walk up there with me?
Sure, if you want to, but I just want you to know from the bottom of my spine, like, you did this mostly on your own. This took so much less cheating than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to take so much cheating.
I was prepared to cheat so hard.
I was going to cheat so hard for you, and then
I was going to cheat too.
Yeah, and then it mostly wasn't necessary because you are just that good.
I did grease the floor so that everybody would slip in the beginning. I don't know if that's cheating or not.
You did kill a lot of people.
They were healed, right? They were healed?
Yeah,
That's why it was blasted, because I knew they were going to get healed.
They wouldn't lie about something like that.
Not something that
Right,
important.
because we did some terrible things to them in that dungeon.
And Picard's nearby, and she gives you like a punch on the shoulder and goes, "Go up there and get your thing."
Okay, come on, guys. Let's do this.
Okay.
But look, let's try to look heroic. No, let's try to look terrible. Terror.
All right, you're the winner. If you want us to look terror, that's what we're gonna do. And Busy's like, puts her hands up almost into claws, just goes, "Grr! Scary! Grr! I'm big scary."
So as they're doing that, flanking me on the sides, trying to scare people, Tippy's walking up with a swagger that doesn't quite fit him. You know what I mean? He's kind of walking too.
And are you
big.
aware, Swallow? Or have you goblined back?
I
Goblined
have
back?
I goblined back? You tell me.
Yeah, you goblined back.
I've goblined back. I can't have Unzug seeing me as a werebird.
I mean, he's seen you.
Yeah, okay.
It's too late. He's seen everything.
I'm gonna pretend he hasn't.
Okay.
So
okay.
I walk up there, big old swag, swinging my arms left and right, like I'm about to start an MMA championship.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you've got your skeleton friends behind you. What you're walking up to is just a beaming Unzug. And remember, he's decked out in his black and red robes, his human skull pauldrons. He's got his python staff and exquisite facial hair, as well as a white stripe in his dark black.
That's crazy.
elven hair.
They got an Unzug impersonator for this party. That's insane.
No expense spared. I think, should we tell him or should we?
Wow, he looks just like Unzug. Oh, it's probably like disguised self, because you guys are so good at that. Somebody's probably doing that.
That's him.
Busy shoves the blanket under his nose, and then it smells like him.
Oh, it does.
It is my greatest honor.
Unzug! Tippy immediately, all the swagger he had just dissipates, and it's just pure fear, unsure what's gonna happen next, and he hides behind Busy.
Her bones come apart and then go around him and back around, where she begins propping him up and is now essentially holding him up like a puppet. Like, he has fantastic posture. He might be kind of hanging off of her a little bit, but she's like holding him up to like get him to look like he's back in swagger.
Okay. Are you going to allow this to happen?
Yeah, of
okay,
course.
you do. Then let's see how successful you actually are. This is going to be performance with advantage since Tippy's helping you.
Oh, fantastic. So that is going to be a 21.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay,
Thank
okay. You are able to scurry behind Busy, but it looks as though you just had like a plan. So
Yeah.
you were just going to come out like, oh, okay, so now I'm going to be who I actually am. And even though Busy's puppeting you, it looks just like you walk with the extreme confidence, chest puffed out even more than before. And Unzug says,
It is my greatest honor to present
the Goblin Hero Award to Tippy Terror Squad. And I have a story for all of you goblins. As it turns out, Crandall has just told me that Tippy's from my dungeon. Can you believe it? I had every chance to work with this young goblin, but I had nothing to do with the win. I really didn't. I just read the piece of paper, but it's just one of those things, you know. It's just a fun story to tell you, and everyone's like chuckling and going, "Oh yeah, of course." And
So true.
yeah, so true. And he says, "So Tippy, I have this for you as a reward." He holds out, it looks just like a round cylinder, but he says, "This is a scope for your pistol."
My lord, darkest of all lords, the evilest of Zeus. Okay.
Stand, goblin.
Yeah.
Today is your day.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you, great Dark Lord Unzug.
And I grab the scope.
Yes, you take it from him, and the only thing really that you notice is that his hands are pretty cold.
Unzug, would you like a hand warmer? I could build you one of these. We haven't talked in a while.
The
Okay.
other,
Okay. I'm looking at the ground, not looking at your eyes.
and the other presentation, and he gestures to Glomgan, and Glomgan picks up a wolf's head that still has the fur on it, just the top of it, not the lower jaw, and he places it on your head. And Glomgan says, "This is our Goblin Hero crown, the head of a wolf. Don't worry, you'll grow into it,
It's huge.
or you're tiny."
Okay.
And
I'm just glad he didn't call me a baby, but I'll take tidy.
for those, just so you know, the scope adds +1 to attack and damage rolls.
Ooh.
It's a +1
Nice.
scope for your pistol. And when you are actively using the scope, on a DC 16 perception check versus one creature, as a bonus action, you can find out a creature's armor class and or weakness and or ask me a secret.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
When's the last time they cried?
Do they like me?
Yeah. And then the crown of the wolf's head, if you wear it, you have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Oh,
Damn!
wow.
You thought this was a gross hat.
It is gross. It also is pretty effective.
Okay.
You also have resistance to psychic damage.
Wow.
Which means any psychic damage will be halved.
Thank you, Unzug. And thank you, Honorable Judge Globgid.
Speech, speech, speech.
No. Oh, God.
Speech,
Oh,
speech.
God. I turn to address the crowd. My fellow goblins.
I cast prestidigitation, so his voice starts booming.
Yes.
My fellow goblins. Please know that I'm no champion. I'm no hero. I'm just a goblin like you. You guys don't know this, but I worked for Unzug's lair.
Unzug!
No, we do. He just told us.
I know. Yeah. I'm not good at this. But hear me out. When I started at Unzug's lair, I was just a guy making traps and honestly just trying to fit in and talk to my friend Maxwell, who you guys would love, but anyways, I never thought I could be a champion. I never thought I could be up here with a wolf hat and a cool scope. But just know that I didn't do it alone. I did it with two of my best friends in the whole wide world, Busy and Fibs. And if everybody could give them a hand, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, the crowd goes wild. You hear shouts
close
of
one.
Fizz, shouts for Busy, and of course shouts for Tippy. And Unzug leans down, gives you a nod of approval, and shakes your hand.
I shakily go and shake his hand.
And he says, good job, Tippy TerraQuest.
What?
That's your name? Tippy TerraQuest?
Good job, you said?
Yes. Well done. Now, go celebrate.
My Dark Lord said, good job to me. That's crazy.
And he looks at the rest of, he's like in a zone. So he looks over at you and says, when you are finished celebrating, I'd like for you three to join me in my Palanquin
He said, good job.
And he looks over and he points off in the distance where there's a really ornate black palanquin.
Should I make an agenda for the meeting?
Number 1, catch up.
Catch.
I'm going to ask you some questions about your journey.
Unload and talk about.
Anyway, that looks like an amazing agenda. Okay.
Tippy snaps out of his weird little like trance he had just put himself in and turns to address Unzug, and he bows deeply and goes,
My Dark Lord, King of the Void, Master of the, did I already say dark?
The dead.
Master of the Dead. May I just ask a simple question from a humble goblin? Where were you?
That will be covered in the agenda of catch up.
Well, then can I do a new question? Because you're going to answer that anyways.
Yep.
When you said good job, did you mean it?
Roll an insight check.
That's gonna be a 19.
You think he's earnest. You absolutely think he's earnest. And he looks at you and says, I don't know what you, Goblin, have been through and who your family or what your upbringing was, but you should have been told that many times throughout your life.
Oh, wow. Unzug is the best!
Okay, so he's gonna at that he's going to climb down and shake some goblins' hands and move away to the palanquin, and Crandall's going to go with him and says, no, don't make him wait too long.
Yes, obviously, Crandall.
Yeah, Crandall.
Yeah, we're gonna
Come
go catch
on.
up with Unzug Crandall.
Yeah, Crandall. We've got to catch up, Crandall. Do you?
No, that's just the way of doing things, and even though he shook your hand,
He didn't just shake my hand. He said, "Good job."
I
He meant it.
know, but just because that doesn't mean that you're of a station.
It looks like he's getting ahead of you, so you might want to catch up, Crandall.
5 minutes. You see him run off, and he's got just the quirk of a smile on his lips. Went comes up and hands you 2,000 gold pieces.
Let's go.
Went comes up and hands you 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh, more gold.
And he says,
It's so heavy.
well, you got it right, didn't you?
I told you, Went. I knew what I was doing, and I definitely understand the value of money. So for your troubles, here's 100 gold.
You're tipping the house, are ya? Well, we won't say no to that. Now, you know who to come to whenever you need mushrooms or just some general
Oh, you better believe I do.
skullduggery.
Fibs, who is this guy?
This is Went Cudgegloom. He's the brother-in-law to Gwent Fummycrust.
No, we're real brothers, but I married into the Cudge
He's the
Blooms.
brother of
Okay.
Gwent Fummycrust.
So your maiden name would be Fummy Crust.
Matrilineal. No, because also Gwent married into the
Oh,
Fummy
okay,
Crust.
right. You're
So what would your matrilineal family name be? Before it was Fummycrust and Cudgegloom.
please. I would like to know.
We just want to know who your people are, you know.
We just—it's a respect thing for us, you know. We want to know first and last.
It's pard form.
Pardform?
Was that a K at the end of that?
A PK.
A PK.
An MPK.
MPK.
It's
Okay.
pard
Pard.
form. Pard form.
Pardform. All right.
Well, it's been an honor, and I'll go away from this one rich bookie. Okay, is there anything else y'all would like to do before heading to Unzug?
Ooh.
The goblins are making merry. The band is playing, people are dancing.
When is our appointment with Unzug? Like, can we sleep? Can we rest before we meet
Did you
him?
say 5 minutes?
Did he say 5 minutes?
Crandall was like, yeah, 5 minutes.
Okay, can't sleep, so...
I mean, unless you want to talk to Pakara again before we go. That's busy saying that, not Danielle.
Yeah, let's go talk to Makar.
Yeah, I want to go. Pakara did such a good job. I want to let her know.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so Picard's hanging out with Plixie and Fug, and
Fug.
they're just...
It's just circles, man.
And the girls are attracting a lot of attention, especially after Picara's very, very good Umbaba dance.
Damn, yeah.
But you're able to squeeze in, and she just looks up and goes, "Oh, it's Tippy! Hi!
Hey.
Great job! I'm so proud of you."
I'm proud of you too. When you were up there on the frog hemoth, it really felt like, I don't know, you really knew what you were doing.
Yeah, no, I knew. Us together, we were great. We were great.
Yeah, we were a great team,
I think so too.
a great partnership maybe,
I know.
a great coupling.
Yes, Tippy.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about it, Mr. Winner?
Well, how about I do a sidebar? Can I do a sidebar real quick?
Sorry,
Yeah.
we're just gonna do a
It's a
sidebar
real-
really quick.
take
We'll
one
just be
second.
really back. Yeah, hi.
I want to ask her out, but I feel like I'm gonna puke.
If you want me to, I can do it for you.
Yes,
I'll do the
yes,
voice.
do
You
for
just
me.
move the mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Pakara.
It's
Hi,
Pakara.
Pakara. Hi, Pakara. Don't look at me. Look at. Hi, Pakara. I just want to say, my name's Tippy, and you know, Pakara,
Tippy, this is so sad.
What?
This is so sad.
What? Okay. Why is it sad?
Just, I can't anymore. If you're gonna do something, just do it.
I want to go
I'm
out
right
with you.
here.
I want to go out with you.
Do you really want to?
I really want to.
Well, I want you to.
Well, great.
Well, great.
Well, cool.
Then, fine.
I grab Pecora and I kiss her.
Ah! Okay, so you do.
Roll to attack.
And she,
Oh, no!
she allows it. And Plixie goes, oh my God, finally.
girl, I know, right?
Oh my God.
It's been like
and
10
Fun goes,
episodes.
Yeah, finally.
As I kiss her, I want to, as gently as possible, transform into a werebird and sort of just hover us both in like a sort of sweet moment where we're just hovering and turning, but only like centimeters off the
Imagine
ground.
you're kissing someone, then suddenly their mouth turned into a beak.
beak.
Because that's what just
I'm
happened.
going
That's
full
right.
tongue, all beak, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, Pakara is into it. You float above the crowd. You're getting a lot of attention, and there's even more. There's just a soft applause as people are just melting with romance.
Busy's like ripping up like any moss or flowers and like floating it so it like floats in the air around.
Amazing.
It's pretty.
Yes, beautiful. And Plixie goes, "You get yours, girl. This is great. Congrats, Pakara. I never thought he was going to actually do it. You said he had some balls to grow, but I'm glad he did."
Yeah, it had to happen.
How's Fug looking at Fug?
Both like,
Okay.
Perfectly round.
All right.
yes.
All right, Fug's into it. Perfect.
And so you set yourselves down, and Pakara says, "You know what? I'd kind of like to meet Unzug."
Yeah. Why? Well, hold on. Let me ask. Can Pakara come?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I don't
Well,
see why we can. I mean,
They didn't say no plus ones.
They didn't say no
They didn't
plus
say
ones.
plus ones, but they didn't say no plus ones.
I feel like if Crandall's invited,
He's a -1.
yeah, then we have to make up for it with a
Right, yeah,
whole
'cause
other
Yeah,
person.
Crandall
it's
is a
basic math
-1.
dictates.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Okay, if you're ready, you make your
Yeah,
way
yes.
over to Unzug with Pakara in tow. You enter the Palanquin, and you just kind of open it up, and there's Unzug sitting there, lounging. Crandall's against the other side.
Before we get in,
Yeah.
Busy's gonna use her mask medallion to cast Disguise Self, where Busy is now wearing a very tidy blouse with like a little neckerchief, which is tucked into a very tidy skirt. Her hair is up in a very professional looking bun, and I don't know, she's boned, so you can't really do makeup, but you do notice there's like maybe like a little bit of flush on her cheeks, and she is wearing a really nice blazer over it. So she
Okay.
basically looks like a 1960s flight attendant.
Amazing.
He
I
looks
think
so professional.
Wow.
I think even with the bones, you can always add some lashes.
Yeah, you always had a lash. Come on, what are we?
So as you enter, he says, "Thank you for dressing up for me."
Thank you. It just, I take these meetings very seriously, and I think that this is a chance for us to have a very good
Crandall, where has she been?
dialogue.
And Crandall goes, yes, well, she's not always been this effective. and he just kind of dismisses it and says, and gives you a nod of approval and says, and it looks as though we have another goblin.
Yes, my sweet dark lord. This is Pakara. My what are we?
Already? Oh, damn, you go fast when you go.
What are we?
Well, we just recently smooched.
My most recent smooch, my dark lord.
He says, a fellow champion, I see that if there were second place, he would have been second, and you are welcome here. So he sits back and he says, I imagine you have some questions for me.
I have so many, and Busy like pulls out her clipboard, click, click. First of all, I just want to say again, thank you so much for scheduling this meeting. This is really fantastic. I do want to do kind of a post-mortem on what happened in the dungeon. I'm not sure if you heard about the dungeon and everything that's been going on.
Well, I do know that I gave that up to a reputable company.
You gave the dungeon
You gave it up?
Willingly.
Yes, I sold the dungeon.
Oh, was there like a memo we missed? Was there supposed to be a memo? 'Cause
I do not. He's going through everything. I don't think I was
you meant to tell us.
CC'd.
We were
still there.
A corner conversation
forced
on
out
any
there.
level.
They killed everybody. They
A
killed
knife
everyone.
point.
No, what?
Yeah. Oh, the Gatlings came. They wiped everyone out, and there was the Fiends Union.
The last I checked, the dungeon was fully populated. And Crandall goes, well, you did tell me I could leave just the way you did. And he says, but you were the order of operations, so you made sure things were in order. Crandall says, oh, I just kind of took your example, and I also left. No, everyone was killed except these three, and so that's a reason to celebrate. And he says, the phase spiders. Yes, gone.
Excuse me, my lord. They're not all gone. Aloof, come meet the Dark Lord Unzug.
And she creeps out and says,
You will perish immediately from my might.
Whoa.
Oh,
Loof.
Don't
Chill out.
She's just showing, Dark Lord Unzug, she's just showing you how she is effective.
I'm a wrath of, I'm a cancer in the world. I'm the worst thing you've ever dreamt of and the last thing you'll think of before you go to sleep at night.
I step in front of Fibs, trying to muffle her, being like,
She's learning a lot. She's just a baby. Unlike me, I'm not a baby.
so he says, that is a fascinating creature. That's what's left of my phase spiders then.
Yeah, the last surviving phase spider from your lair, the daughter of my best friend Bloodweaver.
Crandall, what have you been doing with my lair minions? And he says, well, you know, I came from the Exo-Hag's lair, and I just took practices with me, and you haven't really wanted to get to know anyone, so I didn't introduce you to anyone. And he says, you don't think I have a vested interest in knowing if there are certain minions who are more apt than others? And Crandall says, isn't it a moot point? They're mostly all gone anyway. And he says, you don't have to leave now, but I'm relieving you of your duty.
Oh my God.
You don't have to get home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
This is unacceptable. These are not the reports I was given. And Crandall says, well, you've been off gallivanting, and he goes,
Silence! I have been doing
wonders for this world. Say that one more time, Crandall Greckleworth. And he says, I'm sorry, my lord. You are saving the world. And from what I hear, so are the rest of you.
Yes, we've been doing some great work saving the world. How have you been working on saving the world? Because we know that there's a lot going on and it's kind of dangerous right now. There's
The Scythe of Aurelia is involved.
The scythe.
Yeah.
That is how I am saving the world. They need to perish.
I agree.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think their number one weakness is how much they are reliant on many. Their community is overflowing, and they simultaneously love killing. It also slows them down, whereas I, as one elf, can move throughout the world, almost undetected.
My Dark Lord, if I may ask, the Scythe of Aurelia, you're so powerful, and you know your tales of unbound power and might go so far. Why have you not crushed them single-handedly with your great, dark, powerful might?
I am not powerful enough yet. While I have grown in power over these last centuries, so have they. I have set them on a quest that they do not know I orchestrated the seeking out of the 5 articles of the Sundari.
Wow, okay, we were kind of on that quest,
Yeah,
too.
They will not find them all, for here I have one, his staff. Fibs, you see him squint his eyes, and it's very clear he's casting Detect Magic. And I see you have some magic items of your own, 2 of which are articles of the Sundari.
Oh, I thought you were asking about Gun Tippy. I hold up my Eldritch Cannon and it kind of winks at him. Pretty cool, huh? I'm probably gonna put the scope on this one.
Not as impressive as the other 2 articles that you have on your person.
Oh, he wants to see the chalice.
He wants to see the chalice.
I'll show him the chalice.
So you've got the Staff of Rolbert. We have the what was the chalice?
The chalice.
Chalice of Kirkin.
May I see it?
Of course, anything. And Izzy reaches in, grabs the chalice, and hands it over to Unzug.
Now he just looks at it and goes, "That is a beautiful work of art. You may keep it."
What was the third item?
Well, you have it, don't you?
Don't I? Do I?
And he just nods up at the top of your head.
What? This former top hat that belonged to a gelatinous cube from a different time that's been since turned into a hat of wizardry by my dear pal Tippy?
No.
The extensions? And Busy just starts like grabbing the fake hair.
Yes. Oh, no, be gentle.
It's real hair.
As you grab it, he says, "You did not know you carried the tattoo of Crass."
The what?
The tattoo of Crass?
How was this not activated? The way that I'm detecting this, it seems as though a Sundara did appear to you.
Oh, yeah, the goat lady. Yeah, I helped save a goat. And
Arsena.
Yes, Arsena.
sovereign
She
of
was
grace.
very doubtful. In fact, I would say everyone around me was very doubtful that I was going to save that goat.
Oh, my
deer, the deer was a
To the point where it
Deer.
felt kind of hurtful after the fact.
Do you think that a Sundara just appears to anyone?
You know, I don't know.
It was like our first day out of the dungeon, and she was one of the first people we'd actually really seen. And of course, now we are much learned of the ways of the outside world. But at the time, yeah, we just kind of thought you go on a road and then just a person shows up.
Yeah, and then there's like a magical trolley problem involving a lady and a goat.
Okay, wow, that's a lot.
She disarmed me, I'm afraid to say, and pushed my face into the ground. I am forever ashamed by that.
You
Okay, this
you
is-
didn't have to tell him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I felt like I had to.
No, you didn't. But I get
If we are
appreciate
going
the-
to go over every second of the adventure that you've had since the last time I've been in your presence, we will not have time because I have something to ask of you.
It's okay, we'll record these someday and play them back for you.
Busy just goes through and starts like taking off line items under ketchup.
So
What
many items.
you must understand is that the Sundari are at the core of this all. And I know that while those minions like you who have been in my lair have been naive, unaware of the outside world, they are driving all of Sundaros. The Scythe of Aurelia are distracted by them. There is a secret there to uncover, and all I know is the ravings of a madman, Izajar, have been my guiding light. There is a last step of my journey that I do need help with. First of all, what I will say is, while you bear and are attuned to your tattoo of Crass, you are the champion of Arsena.
Oh.
And while you are attuned to and bear the chalice of Kirkin, you are the champion of Ordenf. Those might have little weight at the moment, as the Sundari are all beings and presences on different planes of existence. They're mere bones on our plane, but I can see that this tattoo did bring Arsena, at least for a time, onto our material plane.
And I mean, mere bones could actually make kind of a lot of stuff happen.
Yeah,
You can actually do a lot
we got this far.
with mere bones.
I have been a champion of the undead for as long as I can remember.
And goblins.
Yes, I mean, obviously.
Oh, no, I'm saying I stand with the undead too as a goblin. Okay.
I sponsored the, oh, you do too?
Yeah.
Okay. But I did sponsor the Goblin Hero Challenge, so obviously I support goblins.
You're right. Everything you say is right, my Dark Lord.
have a question. You mentioned Izajar.
I did.
So we were talking with someone and they kept saying something about a throat bone, like a bone and a throat. Throat bone.
Yes, I am not sure what that could mean.
You mean the Skurlidahyoid?
The
Yeah.
Skurlidahyoid. He writes about that often.
What's that?
Well, as your skeleton friends know, it's a bone in your throat, unconnected to any other bone in your body.
Okay. What's that first part mean?
Skurlita has many different meanings. One of them is goblin.
A goblin throat bone? Well, I mean, surely I've got one of those.
Yes.
Wait, you don't need it, do you?
No.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Skurlita has other meanings, the most common of which is coward.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I don't have that one.
So I would assume it's
Coward bone.
either yes, but
Not
this
me.
is where Izajar's writings all meander. However, there is one clue that I do have that I've yet to be able to accomplish, and that is accessing Fitfettle Delve. And I, by all rights, should be able to get in there, but there is a force so powerful, preventing beings like myself of great power from entering. Fitfettle Delve, as you know, is the dwarven gem mine that has been in existence since before the searing. It is where the Fate Keepers of old held their meetings, and they have a wealth of gems, all magic stones or magic amplifiers, and I can only assume in the last centuries that they have put up so much defense to isolate themselves and prevent others from gaining that power.
Busy puts her hand up.
Yes, busy.
Thank you. Thank you for calling on me. Just, I wanted to add a note quickly. I think I might be able to get in there to the dwarf gem place.
Okay.
So I haven't mapped this out yet. This is just, blue sky thinking,
Safe
blue sky
space,
thinking.
safe space.
Thank you. All ideas are good ideas. All ideas are good ideas. No wrong things in a brainstorm. So I was a dwarf before I was.
Oh, I did recognize a bit of that bone structure.
And it seems as though I was one of the Fate Keepers
Oh my.
when I was a different kind of alive.
Do you remember? The biggest question of all was, who was your source? There was a source of the Fate Keepers who told them who to write down, a magical being or a deity of power or an energy, if the lore is correct.
I don't think I got to that part yet in my flashbacks. I have been seeing more of my past life lately.
Your lordship, I think that we should probably take her there. And, sometimes retracing your steps helps jog memories back into place, even if you did burn them down in some sort of etheric goo palace.
I'm going to have to get that story from you, just not right now.
Of course.
Really, I'm willing to tell you the whole thing from start to finish right now.
Don't you dare.
I'm excited to hear this. If you, on some level, could, I don't know, convince the High Council of Fitfettle Delve or determine the source of this isolationism and be rid of it, then I might be able to gain the power I need to take out the entire scythe of Aurelia, which I believe is my full purpose. He does say that you have the chalice, you have the tattoo.
Where is my tattoo?
It is, okay.
Is it underneath my hat and I take it off?
It's
the hair
on
dangles down.
It's on the scalp, yeah. It's like on the skin that the hair is attached to.
I never noticed it.
And
Is there anything written underneath?
yes, it is an 8-pointed star.
Oh, wow.
And he says, I don't know that anyone would have been able to find it. Everyone has been looking for this tattoo, thinking it's a magical tattoo that transfers from person to person.
Wow.
This might
So
be
it's
the
on
first.
the scalp?
Yeah, it's in my hat.
Wait, Maxwell's hat?
This
It's the hair, the scalp that the hair.
You gave me the hat. I added the hair because.
So, what a lucky find.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
When you wear it, so this is what this magic item does. This is the Tattoo of Krass, Krass.
Sure.
You can cast the Scrying spell save DC 17, concentration up to 10 minutes, but you can cast it on any plane of existence.
Amazing.
During this 10 minutes of concentration, you actually have true sight on this plane.
Wow.
The true sight also can be on the plane that you're experiencing scrying.
Okay.
You can alternate between seeing and hearing on the planes in those 10 minutes, but you can't do both at once. And it's an unlimited use of the spell, but each time takes 10 minutes to cast it.
So treat it like I'm doing kind of like a ritual almost.
It's a ritual, and
Okay.
the rules for failing and saving this wisdom saving throw are the same as the scry spell.
Okay.
A little broken, but you're welcome.
Thank you.
So it works on all planes, even spirit.
Even goo?
It costs extra. I need more components.
Okay, and he says, so you have your chalice, and you have your tattoo.
My hair.
This staff may come in handy.
Oh, maybe that's a Fibs thing, because I got these bad boys.
And he goes ahead and hands you the Staff of Rolbear.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It is a +2 quarterstaff, which is
Okay.
going to give you +2 on attacks and damage rolls. It can take 4 forms.
It's got a cool snake head.
You can use an action to turn it into one of the 4 forms. A full birch tree,
Excuse me?
40 feet tall. A giant constrictor snake, which is a huge creature, or a poisonous snake, which is extremely tiny, real little garden snake. You use an action to take a form, and then you use a bonus action to turn back into you holding the staff.
Okay.
You also can turn into the staff itself.
Damn. And then, just for anybody who might, who's listening or watching and might have forgotten what the chalice does and how that works, maybe we should just, go ahead.
I think
Daisy,
that's a
what does
great
the
idea.
chalice do?
The chalice is really great, actually. The
Yeah,
chalice,
it's really cool, so we should probably...
So you use an action to name a liquid. It causes this to produce the chosen liquid. When it's full, the liquid may be drunk by a creature. You can say any liquid that you like, but the ones that I listed for you are healing potions. And the highest one, Supreme Healing, takes 20 minutes or a short rest for that to fill up, and that is 10d4 plus 20. But you can go regular healing, and that takes 12 seconds, 2d4 plus 2. And you can name other potions if you know their names and qualities, poisons, that kind of thing too.
Okay, perfect.
You could just spin an action right now and name a potion.
Well, let's see. How are you doing on your health?
I feel okay. I'm at an 18. I feel okay.
It doesn't spill. It'll hold for until it's drunk.
Oh, great. I would love to fill this chalice with healing potion.
Would you like the 20-minute one, the Supreme Healing? That's 10d4 plus 20.
Yeah, I super want supreme healing.
Perfect. So you start filling it up. You've got your staffs, and he says, I'll take you to where my palace is now. I've been moving around a lot, but I've got a little pocket dimension palace.
It's in your pocket?
It is not in my pocket. I'll
Have you
show
ever
it to
considered
you.
that?
Sneaky.
Putting it in my pocket.
I've got
Yeah.
lots of things in my pocket. It's really useful.
So that's just not how the spell works. When you are finished and when you just have an answer for me about how to get into Fitfettle Delve, please return there. And he says, and so with that, Crandall, I think you can arrange for us to be taken to the palace. And Crandall says, it would be my pleasure as my last duty for you, my liege. And he leans out. You actually see Captain Lump, running towards this palanquin, just yelling, you got my stupid son, you got this. And Unzug leans out and goes,
Captain Lump, so nice of you to join us. You can be at the front of the Palanquin Guard, carrying your very capable son and myself to my mansion.
Oh. Yeah, Dad.
and he shuts
Take
up.
that, Dad.
A very notable honor.
Roll up the window of the palanquin.
Yeah, exactly. And you just see goblins. Most of them are, everyone except Lump is extremely honored to be carrying this fairly large palanquin full of a bunch of people.
So
but
we're all
some
in
light
there with
people.
him.
It's very spacious for a
Is
palanquin.
Pakara in there?
Yeah, Pakar is with
Yeah.
you. And he takes you to the entrance outside of Meyerfin of the palace. You can see that it's marked by 2 statues of bones wrapped around pillars. And he says, this won't leave for another 24 hours, and I will await you here.
Thank you for inviting us to your pocket, my Dark Lord.
Well,
Into your dimension.
into my dimension. Yes, thank you, my pocket dimension. And you will be welcome. There will be plenty of food and drink for you.
I have a couple questions.
More, yes?
Is there a vacancy now for your, what, I don't even know what Crandall is doing, but like...
My COO.
I know I have a great recommendation for a COO, and I nudge Busy sort of to the front.
I would be most honored to take over and be part of the C-suite.
And he takes your clipboard. It is excellent penmanship. The scrolls make a lot of sense. You've taken notes during the meeting. And he says, I would need more information. Obviously, all I know is hearsay. But do this for me, and there actually is a vacancy, and this looks very proficient.
Thank you. I'll send you over my CV.
Oh, what? Oh, that's very cool. Good. Yeah, maybe whatever you want to write on there. I'm open.
Thank you.
You make your way to Fitfettle Delve. He's given you a map. You can head there. It's not far, about half an hour's walk to the entrance of Fitfettle Delve, which, as you know, is a dwarven gem mine with an entrance at the base of Fitfettle Mountain. And as you approach, there are several different beings. You are not the only undead, goblins, skeletons. There also are gallantlings, dwarves and elves, and tieflings and drow and halflings, humans too. This is a hub for gem trade. It is almost eerily silent as people, when they make their business deals, are whispering. And inside the mountain, it seems that there is more activity even. As you approach, you blend in and you have a dwarf catch up to you. And these dwarves, they wear armor. They also wear robes over their armor. Their insignia is a geometric shape of a cut diamond. And this dwarf very solemnly says, what brings you here to Fitfettle Delve?
We've come to see the council.
We've got official business from our Dark Lord.
And I would like to speak to the council and take a look around at my ancestral homeland.
I recognize that accent. Your ancestor homeland is Fitfettle Delve.
I believe so.
So in life you were a dwarf? That's so interesting. I think a tour we could do. As far as speaking with the High Council, it's not gonna happen. And what you see is there's one dwarf who is locked in on you, like pretending like she's not looking at you, but she definitely is looking at you. Like you are sparking this person's attention. She's maintaining a very solemn look, but she's almost like getting rid of the people that she's talking to and making it clear like she would rather be your assistant in this matter. And he just goes, so that is something that no one talks to the High Council. I can't even get into the High Council, but are you here for some gems as well?
I'm mostly here on official business. I believe I should only bring that to the council.
We could deal in some gems on the side, maybe on the way out.
I'll definitely look at a gem.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're so pretty. Look at them all shiny and stuff.
Well then,
Let's start with a tour.
and so this is kind of going back and forth, and he says, we'll start with a tour, but he's kind of looking for advice, and at that moment is when the dwarf overtakes him to become your guide, and that dwarf is played by Becca Scott!
If there be any tours happening in Fitfettle Delve, I'll be given the tours. So that I've practiced exactly the same that you've established all dwarves have.
I just said you. Yes, hi Becca.
Hi, Thanks for having me.
Yes, and as you approach these two skeletons and a goblin, will you describe to them what they see?
Well, they see, standing at a thick 4 feet stout frame of a dwarf, She has fiery red hair, thickly braided, but it seems like the braids are always undoing themselves, but somehow braiding themselves back up again. Very orderly. It's like the hair is fighting it, but the order must be maintained. She's got this underbitten snaggle tooth coming up, and she's wearing the same diamond insignia on a very beat up, thin metal armor with some chain underneath, and really fashionable fur-covered shoulders.
Ooh.
I heard talk of a Dark Lord. Perhaps I could give you the tour myself.
Oh, you, Miss Burfist, you don't have to. We know you're busy with your rune shaping.
Hush! I am a rune shaper, and as such, I hold certain status here. This is how that accent works? Yeah.
I'm captivated.
No, 2 seconds ago. The name's Berignius Burfist the 6th.
You will be so taken care of. This is unprecedented. Miss Burfist does not just give tours these days. She's a rune shaper. She is one of the people responsible for putting magic in the gems.
Berignius. Why does that sound familiar? Well, didn't Maxwell cover?
I just think that there's probably Berignius is probably a common dwarf and
Well,
name.
it's not a common dwarf. No, there is high lore around our Berignius Burfist.
Yes, we all know the lore of Berignius. I am the 6th out of 6. There are no other Berignii.
Don't be reductive here. It's quite an honor.
Well, hello, Berignius. Tippy puts out his hand.
Great pleasure. I sense something in the three of you.
I'm Tippy Terror Squad, the first. This is Fibs, the first.
Hello.
And this is Busy, the first.
Something about your bone structure is quite striking, Busy.
Thank you, Lassie.
It's just right out there for everyone to see. That's why I felt okay commenting on it.
No secrets in these.
If you have it all under control, I'll go assist another group. But
You've done well.
oh well, thank you.
Good job. We say that a lot here on Big Metal Forge.
Yes.
So nice to see a place with positive reinforcement.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And before you go, what is your first and last name?
My first name is Boone
Boone.
Ruby Throat.
Boone.
Ruby Throat.
How do you spell that?
It's because there's a ruby in his throat.
Oh, it's because the ruby's in the
Ruby
throat.
Throat.
Oof. I'm proud of you.
What? Miss Burfist.
Bow deeper next time if you don't mind.
Oh, Miss Burfist.
Yes. A hearty bow.
That's a good bow.
That's a great bow. That is some really good
Really
bowing and
good
scraping, and I
bowing.
have seen some great bowing and
And
scraping.
this dwarf moves on to assist a halfling who's just showed up.
Act casual. Step this way. We've much to speak about.
Oh, thanks for helping us.
Casually.
Okay.
Busy starts walking casually.
And as you walk casually, where Berignius takes you is within the delve itself, right into the mountain. With her status, she is able to bypass any security that would be there. And this version where Unzug isn't able to enter, you just don't feel anything like that. The one thing that you as casters do feel is the entire cavern of this place is thrumming with magic, just like Ernker Fathom was. It feels different. It's not as mysterious, it's more accessible magic. And what you see as you wander in, as Berignius leads you in, this is her home. It's normal to her. But what you see is just an enormous cavern. It's as if an entire neighborhood block was dropped down the center of this shaft. Scaffolding, dwarven buildings. It's empty in the center, but on the outside there's spiral staircases, spiral platforms that move around. Also, it seems as though there are rooms built into the dirt and stone. Torchlight lights it up, but not as much as so many different colored gems. It is glistening and shining and twinkling, reds and blues, greens, dark purples, light purples. The gems themselves are inlaid into this stone cavern, into the walls, and they themselves are producing light as well. It looks a bit chaotic, unstructured, left natural, but there is an order to the stones that were left in the wall.
Busy's just gonna walk up, put her hand on one of the stones. Does any of this feel familiar? Is there anything that she kind of feels while looking at this, or?
Yes. Although you did burn down your memory palace, so
Technically it was flesh fibs.
you do sense a familiar feeling of comfort, and it's like your bardic magic is normally channeled through the attention of others, but when you touch this gem, it feels as though you are being watched by an audience. It is like you just have magic at your fingertips, and it feels like this, it feels like coming home.
You good over there, Busy? You touching a rock? Are we all supposed to touch the rock?
It feels pretty crazy in here. I can only imagine what she's experiencing.
I feel like I am floating right now. Like, I just feel so, like, just in the air, just high. I just feel like I am very high.
You need to build up your tolerance for gems, you see.
Okay. I touched the rock.
So Busy touched a red ruby gem that is poking out uncut, and you touch...
I want to touch a rock.
You want to touch a rock?
Not understanding.
Okay, you touch a rock, and you do not experience the same glory that she did.
Huh. Not really getting a hit. Not really feeling anything.
Oh, that's not. No, that's
I'll
not.
touch it.
To the left.
What?
To the left.
And as you move your hand to the left and it comes to rest on a bit of turquoise, you are inundated with the feeling of being able to communicate with inanimate objects. Like they're not communicating with you, but it's like they're welcoming
The machines! I could talk to them! They hear me!
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, that stone was
And
real good.
You hear a dwarf more casual than the other dwarves, like really lackadaisical, kind of shooting winks at people, and just not as, doesn't have the decorum as these other dwarfs. And she comes out and goes, Varignias, who are your friends here? You on the job? You on the clock right now?
Yes, I'm on the clock.
Well,
Gottfrieda, pull it together. Your button's unbuttoned.
What? Oh, sorry. So,
these are my new
You need some help
friends.
right now? I don't want to do my rune shaping at the moment. Don't tell me, boss, which is you.
Gottfrieda, you know, I should make you do your rune shaping anyway, because sometimes we have to do it when we don't want to do it. But yeah, you can have the afternoon off. We have a fun adventure. But don't tell anyone.
No, I'm not going to tell anyone.
I have to have people think my apprentice is working hard.
You got a pretty chill boss. Don't mess this up.
She's my best friend. She doesn't want this job anyway.
You see behind the back, Berignius does like a little finger waggle handshake.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh, so
That's what's my
fun
best
here.
friend.
It's so fun.
No, it's not. No, we're the only fun ones here.
It's very strict, very efficient. Do you see these gems? They must be mined at all hours of the day.
Well, what are you mining them for?
We need them for magic, of course, and power, and it's our main gross export.
You see, I'm a pretty good apprentice.
Really good.
Can't rune shape for crap, but
I put a little spell that made someone a mildly bit more happier just the other day.
okay. Yeah, so could like a mint or, just a little
The
snack.
same effect as a snack.
But this one's a stone that you can't eat.
Calorie free!
So, well,
Keep trying.
I know who I am. The other things that you see are friezes and statues of what you remember your being on the ethereal plane looks like.
Of Berignius.
Of Berignius
The
Burfist.
first.
Yes.
Tight. And Busy's like looking at all of these statues. And Busy looks over at, and I'm sorry, dearie. What was your name?
Gottfrieda.
Gottfrieda. And your family is also obviously from here.
Opalborn.
Opalborn. Cool. I know what that means.
That's the last name.
Opalborn. Yep.
Thank you for
We do
providing.
things differently in here in Fitfettle. We
Fantastic.
have 2 names, a first name and a last name, and if you're special enough, you get a number. I have a number. There's the first up there.
Yeah. What, I'm curious, just out of curiosity, what do people think about the first? I've heard some stories, but I'm not-
Greatly in awe. It gets old. Everybody wants to come up to me and talk to me. I'm famous because the first was, the Fate Keeper. The one in the settling.
In the settling.
Searing. Sometimes we call it the settling here.
Yeah.
Because it didn't really flatten anything here. It just
All the gems, I presume, settled into place after the searing shook the world.
It did seem as though after the searing, as the lore goes, everything did settle into place. Things just got better for us.
Yeah, untouched. In fact, until recently, everything was quite peaceful.
What happened recently?
Oh, well, recently meaning hundreds of years.
Oh, okay.
It's just.
We have a different definition of
Yes.
recent.
I imagine you folks use more of a geologic time
Dwarven
scale
time.
down here.
That's right, you
because of
understand.
the stones
Rock
and
clock.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of recently of what's going on, it does seem as though Berignius has a weird theory that no one really believes, but I'm inclined to, but it sounds mad.
Gottfrieda, you think I should tell them about the theory?
Oh, should I not have told them?
Well, you did open your big mouth. I keep things buttoned up. I've told you this.
I am so sorry. I don't think I belong here.
I know the feeling.
Keep it together, Gottfrieda. You do belong. I'm a good boss.
What's your theory?
Well, recently, hundreds of years ago, the safety of the mine seems to be threatened more and more often. Beings and creatures of evil and darkness are moving towards the sanctity here. That's the story the elders will have you believe, anyway. What I think is we've been cloistered in a bubble, not letting enough people in. I mean, of course, less powerful beings like yourselves. Sure, walk right in the front door, have a tour. We have tours by the hour, but
Lesser beings, gonna pocket that one.
powerful beings have been kept out by the sphere of, I call it isolation. The elders put this out, and some of us, right now me and Gottfrieda, are starting a revolution to open the minds. And the minds.
To bring back.
You just blew my mind.
Incredible
What a
messaging.
great message.
Yeah.
That's what we think. We've been brainstorming, workshopping.
Well, every time we bring it up, they silence us. So
Yes, well.
maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. But I read about the Sundari and the Fate Keepers. Like, they're just my favorite stories. I read this version and that version. I draw little pictures. I love the lore. And it seems that back in the day, the Fitfettle Delve was a haven of greatness, and we had all kinds of beautiful beings and of great power come in and out, and they would almost like use the gems to charge up and then leave, and so there are just fewer and fewer visitors of that caliber.
That's right, to power up these gyms. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but I think maybe a slight decrease in the gym power these recently past 100 years. And I think more powerful beings walking through these caverns. Now that would be like leaving your quartz in the moonlight,
Oh, and we are supposed to leave our quartz in the moonlight
Yes,
to
to
recharge
power
it,
it,
correct?
recharge it.
Okay, just double check
Did like any moonlight, like a full moon, or?
This is for non-magical beings. What they think. This is the
Right,
magical
of
version of
course.
that.
So let me get this straight. If a powerful being walks in here, it'll supercharge this place, or?
That's what we believe. That's the working theory.
It's symbiotic, like it would recharge the being and also Fitfettle Delve.
I mean, that makes sense to us.
It could be fitter and fettler.
And Delva.
Yeah.
Much dope.
And it would be a good thing.
That's how it was in
Indeed.
the olden days.
Well, you guys sound trustworthy, and it seems like it's a good thing if a powerful being came in here. It was really obvious that we were probably going to resort to some sort of skullduggery, some sort of like gunpowder situation. But I think this time we don't have to, right? What?
Unless you want a rager, we can orchestrate that.
I feel that it's just fine if we go and discuss with the council. We might have a powerful being
We can.
that we would be able to arrange to bring in here.
We work for what? A really powerful one.
Like
thought
the
so.
most powerful one. Like the most powerful.
Godfrida, they could be the ones. We could just take them straight to the ritual room.
The Fate Keeper's ritual room?
Look, don't tell anyone on the High Council about any of this. They've been calling us insane, which is really bad around
We
here.
actually think that they've reinforced the isolation sphere. So maybe we don't go to the High Council, but the Fate Keeper's ritual room, do you really think that's the source of all of this?
I do. That's my true secret theory. The source.
Isn't that what you read about when you translated that abyssal?
Yeah. I guess we've got to go to the Fate Keeper's ritual room. And just so you know, like it's probably fine, and I don't think it happens anymore. But occasionally, if I do this thing where like my tongue comes out and like my eyes blank over, I just have a migraine.
She's definitely not experiencing an out-of-body flashback to a life that she once lived.
Yeah, definitely
In no way
not.
is she having a flashback.
In case that
'cause
was your
would
immediate
be-
assumption.
Yeah, don't assume that. Just assume that like,
It's a
actually, my
headache.
brain
So
hurts.
you're a wild card.
Yeah, I'm wild, unpredictable, busy.
like a lapis lazuli when you're expecting an emerald.
Speaking my language.
I would love to go to the ritual room, just out of curiosity, and Busy starts looking around. Like, do you have any notes maybe you've taken on any of this?
Scrolls and scrolls of them, and you see Berignius pulls out the neatest scrolls you've ever seen. Like a spreadsheet level quality handwritten notes.
Oh, this is the index. This is just the index of what other scrolls to find all of the information.
That's right.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Are you crying?
Oh,
Please don't get your tears on the scroll. I worked
It's
really
okay,
hard
there's
on
no
it.
moisture in
There's
there.
no moisture.
They
I'm
just
not
seem like
moist.
they're crying, but it's not. It's magic. It's no moisture.
Busy very tightly rolls the scroll up, ties a perfect bow.
I've been planning to laminate anyway.
I want to see the ritual room. Is the ritual room as organized as this?
Everything in the whole delve is as organized as this.
I must go. I must go there. Let's go. Let's go to the ritual room right now.
So you do make your way to the ritual room, and the way there has been long abandoned. They explained to you on the way that no one has really accessed this, maybe since 500 years ago, since the searing and the settling. And the ways through are completely abandoned. Things start echoing. The silence of Fitfettle Delve and their decorum is even more pronounced here because there's just nothing going on. And you wind your way through.
There's still gems like down here? or is it-
Everywhere.
Okay.
Every wall has
Cool.
has just gems stuck in them. More like instead of stuck in them, they're actually left in there. So they're carved. The walls and the architecture is carved around these gems. And as Berignius takes you through this meandering anthill-like tunnel system, you come across this caved-in doorway. Just lots of stones, not gems, that are blocking this area. And Gottfrieda and Berignius go, well, it's beyond here, but as you can see, it is blocked off, so.
It would be really violating. I wouldn't want to lie if someone asked if we did it.
What
Right.
if
Oh, you mean open this thing?
we can
Yeah, we'll just do it.
we can do it. We'll take the blame.
Yeah, we'll probably blast out.
We're just on it. We're just on a tour.
Yeah, we're on a
Yeah.
tour and like, oops, Arcaden went off.
Okay,
no.
but any blast, you'll sweep up the dust afterwards, yes?
100%.
Of course.
Oh yeah, we are not gonna leave dust all around. Ugh, disgusting.
Okay.
Seems so. All right,
I think we have to. I think this is our time.
it's happening.
They bring out some explosives, and he's excited about that.
I'm also excited about that.
It's, of course, measured to the exact amount that they would need to get this opening blasted. And they draw the fibrous line, gunpowder, around a corner, light the match, it goes, the stones do explode. You see the dwarves themselves get very excited as they creep in, and as
Your excitement
you
is palpable.
as you enter
Just hee-heeing the whole way.
as you enter this incredibly old sanctum, you smell the smell of decay and rot, cobwebs, old earth. You are stepping on stone tiles that are incredibly ornate. Like each one of them was handcrafted to be identical to these other stone tiles that they're right next to. Some of them are cracked. In fact, many of them are, but the room feels vast. It feels like it goes up 100 feet. The radius of the room easily is 50 foot in diameter across to the other side. There's no light, there's no natural light, but with dark vision, you are able to tell that within the center is a huge mound, just a big pile of something dome-shaped, like a small hill of many different things, not gems, nothing's reflecting in that way. Is it alive? You can't tell, but you hear a smacking sound, but it does sound like many are making that sound. And as you get a little closer, this dome looks like it's actually is really, really high, 15, 20 feet high, and almost as big around. As you get closer, you see it's hundreds upon hundreds, maybe thousands of little flesh monsters about 2 or 3 feet across, all of them piled onto each other, each trying to get to the center. As you look up, you actually see more are along the walls. As you walk in, one of them looks at you, utters this wretched screech. That's when hundreds of eyes clock you. And at this gruesome sight, that is where we will end this episode of Sagas of Sundry, Goblin Mode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for next time when we might encounter a fiendish fight.
All right, Amy, roll 1,000 things of initiative.
Even since the searing and the settling.
Thank you for respecting local tradition.
Yeah,
Omniscient narrator.
That's going to be what it's called when I get married.